too. So yeah, the other day I made a video, 3 days ago, I made a video about calling out Cheryl Cole for not coming out and saying that Mayor Henry is a lying little piece of lying piece. And I was a bit irate because I'd just woken up from a dream, which is how most of my stories start, let's face it. And I just had it gone in my head, Liam Payne, and it tied in with my dream and this, that and the other, and I just went off on a rant. Kind of got 2.3k views. That has completely unheard of for my channel. It's not the sort of thing that I usually cover. I leave this in the hands of the researchers and whatever. I'm merely the opinions person. So if you want to know the deets, you know, like I follow Down the Rabbit Hole News and Harsh mainly. You know, I don't do TikTok or stuff like that. And literally I've been watching videos on Liam Payne since the day that Liam Payne died. Every day I've watched a video, at least one video on the passing of Liam Payne. So I have sat there and I've watched this story change to whatever but oh, by the way, disclaimers, these are just my thoughts and opinions. I am not a researcher. I am merely going through what I have seen, the changes in the story, the utter lies that are being put out there, and my take on the logic of everything. And yeah, and also I swear, now I had somebody blame my dream catcher in my bedroom for the reason that I swear. I've had this channel for 17 years. I've had that dream catcher for one. My friend bought it for me because I made her a little rasta. I crocheted her a little rasta teddy. Not from a pattern. Teddy was from a pattern. I made him a rasta, mate. It was one of my finest moments. And she sent me a load of stuff, and that dream catcher was in it. And it is not the reason I'm swearing. And if you go back to any of my old videos, I've been putting disclaimers out on my videos for years that, by the way, I swear, because I ain't like any other brother, right? I don't monetize my channel. I've got nobody to please. I've got nobody to appease. I work with nobody. I am your archetypal lone wolf. I have no production. I have no management. I have nobody that I'm in contact with. I listen to everybody. I process it and I put out my opinions, right? And I get passionate about what I do because I do what I do for love, not money. Like I say, I've got nobody to please, nobody to appease. My son don't give two shiny shits. I've got no other family that actually follow what I do. My son don't follow it. None of my kids have ever followed what I do. I do this for everybody, and I'm by myself. You've said enough on that, carry on. So I do swear, and I apologise if people can't sit through what I'm saying because I'm swearing, but occasionally you have to go, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? And Cheryl Cole not coming out and defending Liam Payne when Maya Henry is coming out and painting him after his death, right? Bearing in mind, she wrote a book about him. I don't know when she wrote the book about him, right? Started reading, and also a tangent. Ain't scripted. I'm not professional. There might be something in there that you like. If so, thank you. And also, I have to say thank you to everybody who's commented and all my new subscribers on that post. I need to put this one to bed so that I can go on with all the other stuff I do, but I don't feel like I can carry on with my other work until I've apologised for getting so shouty. So here we are. Now I was talking, and I'll forget. If I ever forget anything, leave it in the comments if you're like, what were you saying there, Kev? Do you know what I mean? Because I do. I waffle on, and there's so much in here regarding Liam Payne. So I started reading a book yesterday because it was sunny outside, and I've got a little highlighter, and I'm a couple of pages in, and I've just highlighted the words Argentina and Rolex. So far, Argentina twice. It was like the main character. I don't know whether this is Mary Henry. Please, if you know, because there are so many knowledgeable people who've commented on my other post. So if you know if Maya Henry does have Argentinian lineage, but Mallory Hunt, the character in this book, does have Argentinian lineage, and her dad's a big fan of Rolexes. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, right, okay, well, I'm going to just fucking highlight my way through the book, because, I don't usually agree with defacing books, but on this particular occasion, you know me, she gets a pass. I get a pass, sorry. So anyways, I was talking to my niece last night, and she kind of put in perspective the anger that I was showing to Cheryl Cole was kind of sort of not misplaced, do you know what I mean? But the way she said it to me, she's like, look, you've got to remember, these people have management, these people have careers, and literally one wrong word could literally end a career. I don't have a career either, so it's like, but she said, it is literally down to people like you. It is down to the fans. It is down to the YouTubers, because the people who are in these positions of having a career that could get taken away if they say one wrong word are not going to say any words, because they need the dosh. They've sold, they've sold their soul to an entity that could take it away at any time, and that is petrifying when you have money, I should imagine. You know what I mean? It's like, right, I've got all this. Like when I see YouTube videos, YouTubers go like, oh, I can't say this, I might get demonetized. It's like, I ain't monetized in the first place, mate. Fuck that. Do you know what I mean? So like, literally, I will say what I want to fucking say. I'm sorry, but I get kind of now why Cheryl isn't coming out and saying anything. Now, I watched the video earlier on of Kate Cassidy. Oh, God, that girl. Still need to do that video on wheelie bins. Oh, wheelie bin. Kate Cassidy. Come out and said nothing. Now, she is... forgot the wheelie bin there. Kate Cassidy has come out saying like, oh, I'm touched by all the messages of support, all the support that everybody's giving to me. It's like, girlfriend, Maya Henry was pre-Kate Cassidy, right? Am I right? Kate Cassidy was with for 2 years. Maya Henry still at his jugular. And even when he died, Maya Henry, Veruca Salt, as I call her, is still at his fucking jugular, because she's like, oh, let's tarnish the fuck out of his name. Oh, Roger the Dodge as well. Let's make out that he's this drug-fueled, wife-beating piece of shit. That way, A, nobody really gives a shit that he's dead in the first place, and B, well, A, mainly. Do you know what I mean? It's like everybody's gonna go like, oh yeah, like, oh, well, it was on drugs. And in my comments, so many comments going like, yes, fucking get in, justice for Liam. And then you've got your occasional person going, leave the family alone, give them time to grieve. 4 months. Maya Henry and Roger the Dodge have been at that man's fucking reputation. 4 months. You've had 4 months to grieve to a certain point where you go, leave his memory alone. And like I said in a reply to a comment, it's like, it's all well and good, or I might have even said it on video, it's all well and good for Cheryl to go to Bear, your dad won't like this, but Bear's got to live his life where everywhere he turns, people going, your dad was a druggy wife beater. One person can't stop that kid from living his life, hearing everywhere. And even though I'd explained all of this stuff in my video, you've still got people going, no, shut up, shut up, shut up. It's the crabs in a pot thing. One person tries to climb out. Don't know if you know the crabs in a pot analogy, but it's basically, if you put a load of crabs in a pot and one crab tries to get out, the rest of the crabs will pull it down so that they all died together, right? You'd like put a load of crabs on a boil And literally, they'd rather everybody die than one fucking get away. And that is kind of the mentality of humans. And I ain't dissing you for it, my darling, but you can, there's one lady who was just replying to everybody going like, he was on drugs. And it's literally like, tell me you've not watched the video without telling me you've not watched the video. Because at the end of the day, you can't come in to a load of people defending Liam Payne against bad people who a lot of us believe are responsible for his death by just going, no, he was a druggie. Leave Maya Henry alone. Leave Roger Norris alone. Leave Cheryl Cole alone. Now, I will leave Cheryl Cole alone, or whatever her name is. Cheryl Tweedy Cooley, I call her, but I don't know what last name she goes by now. Cheryl, let's just call her Cheryl then. It's like, right, okay, not, my niece has explained it to me a bit, and it's like, right, I get why Cheryl can't come out and say anything, right? And really, fuck it. Fuck all on him. Everybody who's not defending his name against the people who are being given the airtime to rip that man's reputation to shreds, right? Nobody's coming out. Maybe they are. Maybe people are trying. But remember, Veruca's dad is a billionaire. These people have connections. And the whole narrative is being shaped. Now, I don't know whether you remember, but at the beginning, when he first died, the thing they tried to run with was that he committed suicide. That weren't going. That didn't have legs. But what we've got now is we've got the girl that came out, right, who went on Argentinian TV, said she was there, never took a single photograph, right? She was there saying that he was downstairs in the Casa Sur, right, Palermo. He was downstairs and talking to her an hour and a half before he eventually plummeted. And he'd said that he'd gone back upstairs and he was going to have something to eat, and then he'd come back downstairs and she'd got another mate coming along and he was going to meet the other mate, yada, 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 right? We've got Roger, who in one hand, he said, oh no, let's leave Roger out of it for the minute. Then we've got some dude who's claiming he heard him whooping and hollering in his room, absolute fucking bedlam, doors banging whatsoever, whatever, animalistic screaming. And then we've got another dude who said that he was crashing the fucking hotel lobby up, convulsing because he was so off his tits on drugs, so much so that he had to be carried upstairs. All three of these things, all three of these witnesses, all three of these happenings happened at exactly the same time. They all happened at the same time. And also, we've got the photograph, right? Bearing in mind that they initially came out and said that the cameras had stopped working, conveniently, an hour before his death. We've got them coming out with a photograph of him. I don't know if there is a photograph where the face isn't blurred. If anybody has it, please send it to me. And then a photograph of him being manhandled into his bedroom after being carried through the lobby, and the photograph of his bedroom has got a timestamp that's 5 minutes before the date stamp of him being carried through the fucking lobby. Literally nothing in this case adds up, and we need to not shut up about that, because they're like, literally all it's being done now is drugs. It's like it's like, oh, we'll get justice for Liam, all right, we're going to lock up these fucking guys who we say sold him drugs. Drugs didn't kill him. It wasn't drugs that killed him. And do you know what? He didn't fucking fall off the balcony either. Do you know how I know? Because if it had fell off the balcony, especially because even the coroner said that he did not protect himself in that fall, right? Personally, I think that's because he was placed there. If it had fell on that balcony, he'd have hit the floor underneath the balcony, wouldn't he? But he didn't. So he couldn't have fallen off the balcony, especially because he was unconscious at that time. and didn't have any defensive injuries, he couldn't physically have fallen off it, because otherwise he'd have landed at the bottom. And he didn't. He landed over there now. And you know what I mean? These are just a few of the inconsistencies. The whole thing is riddled with inconsistencies, and it is up to us. You know, like I say, I ain't even a fan, mate. I'm a fan of truth. I'm a fan of justice. I'm a fan of logic. And I'm a big fan of baddies getting their fucking comeuppance. Do you know what I mean? Huge fan, right? But I was never a Liam Payne fan, right? But I am not covering this, but I'm following this, and I've done so every day for 4 months. And I've watched the narrative change. Now, one thing, and it's hard, I've only ever heard it come from Harsh, methinks. And he did mention it on a video yesterday or the day before. So if anybody knows this, please leave it in the comments. But he keeps saying that he hit his head on a concrete block on the base of an umbrella stand. Now, the other day, I'm in a group on Facebook, and they were saying which celebrity death, got you the most. So I pointed out, does anybody have the photographs of Liam Payne? The initial photographs and whatever. And this girl said, yeah, I'll send them to you. Bless her. Emma, I think her name was. Thanks, Emma. And so, yeah, I've looked at this photograph, and it's a photograph of Liam Payne laid on his back with blood coming out the back of his head and blood coming out nearby his head, right? Not directly in contact with his head. There is a concrete umbrella stand. Now, whether it's because people have seen these photographs and just deduced and got it wrong, in my personal opinion, or whether this is the official narrative and a blatant lie, but that ain't what killed him either. Because this concrete thing has a corner missing, it's broken off, that is concrete, right? So it ain't bounced anywhere that isn't there. Also, 0 blood on it. Now, you tell me, you ever seen anybody drop a watermelon from a great height? Because, obviously, internet, most of us have seen this happen. And a watermelon, they often use it as a, like when they're doing tests and whatever to represent a human head and whatever. Have you ever seen any kind of accident, blood splatter? 25 injuries each could have killed him. That don't make sense to me for a start off, but we won't go that far into it. Right? And literally no blood splatter whatsoever. He splattered on the floor, and all he's got is a little dribble coming out the back of his head and a little dribble coming out of his ear. And what some people, like I say, if this is an official narrative, it's a blatant fucking lie. He did not hit his head on that. Because if they're saying, oh, look, this is broken, they went like, oh, let's just take his body over here. Look, that shit's broken. We can say it's that. It's all lies. The whole fucking thing is lies. And I'm sorry. And I hope that I've put this in a more sort of friendly way, because somebody did, and I was appreciative of this comment. Somebody did comment on the other video and said you should do this when you're a bit more calmed down, so perhaps people will pay attention. So I'm like, right. And yesterday, I felt so bad yesterday. I hadn't slept the night before. But I have to do this video as an ending to that video before I go on and do the work that I usually do, because I am not this person. This isn't the work that I do. For instance, my next video is going to be of a song I wrote, like literally a parody song that I wrote that I can't put down. Like, I'm going to put it on TikTok as well. I'm a child, right? I go where I go. This is my channel. I do it how I want. I am not beholden to anybody. I have nobody to please and nobody to appease. I just go where the all takes me. But I couldn't go on with my regular work without putting this one to bed to a certain extent. Now, the trial's going to come up, so this ain't going to be the last video I do on Liam Payne, because it needs talking. Oh, also, if somebody could please help me with this one. I saw in a video somewhere, like I've got a file, over 200 videos in this file on YouTube of Liam Payne videos that I've watched. But it was somebody on TikTok, a lady on TikTok said that she'd done a reverse image search of the photograph of the broken TV in his room and found that it was from a post in 2012 or something like that. If anybody knows the validity of that, please can you put that in the comments as well, please? Please talk to me in the comments. I've absolutely loved, having responses to this other video and having people to talk to and learning, because I'm not telling you that I'm right and everybody else, well, I'm telling you people are lying. And that's blatantly obvious. And there's huge numbers of people that are following this that agree with me. And hopefully Cheryl and his loved ones are sitting there watching us not give up and not being able to say anything and going, come on, please, do it for us. Do it for us. We can't have a voice. You be our voice. Because we will not back down. We will not back down. And I mean, I've done 3 shorts of like Liam Payne case facts that don't add up, but I'll just put in here, because I mentioned the broken TV, obviously, photographs of burnt tinfoil, and this guy was meant to be sniffing coke. What did he need to burn tinfoil for if he's just sniffing lines? Do you know what I mean? None of it fucking adds up. And they're saying, I heard in some videos somewhere that there's photographs of wine bottles around his room. He was messaging Rog, asking for bottles of whiskey. Who was he sharing these bottles of wine with? Like, when did he get the time to drink fucking wine when he was on whiskey? The bag underneath on the floor beneath, with a note saying for Liam, it's like, who would leave something for themselves and address it to themselves? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'll just leave this here because, and then put, for Kerry Ann. It's like, I know who I am. I know it's my fucking bag. Or like, this is Kerry Ann's, please don't touch. But you don't go, this is for me. Personal thing. But also, just to go back, old wheelie bin, when I said about Roger's come out and said, there's tales that they couldn't get hold of Rog to come and get him. There's tales of Rog coming and apologising to people for Liam's behaviour. And so what? We're meant to believe that Rog was called out by the hotel, went there, said, I'm ever so sorry that he's going cray-cray and off the rails, and then left his very dear friend in a fucking state of absolute oblivion, and then went, why not to do with me? I weren't even there. And I'm pretty sure that somewhere he said that someone said that they couldn't get him. But he said that he was apologising to people for Liam's behaviour, so he was there. Nothing adds up. Please, again, talk to me in the comments. Talk to each other in the comments. But just know, there are some of us that literally have been paying attention from the beginning. Drugs didn't kill him. A concrete fucking umbrella stand didn't kill him. And falling off a balcony didn't kill him. They're facts. Provable facts. So why? Why is the only justice for Liam prosecuting people for selling him drugs? Drugs did not kill the man. And also, let's not forget, Brian Paez on his Instagram account said, I can't remember when I saw this months ago, said on his Instagram account, waiter, actor. Brian Paez on his own Instagram account says that he's an actor. It's what money can buy you, mate. But money can't buy logic. Money can't buy a twist in the logic and make something into something else. Money cannot do that. Money can cover it up if people stay silent and don't challenge the official narrative. So keep challenging the official narrative, peeps. At the end of the day, we are the force to be reckoned with. We're doing more for that man than any fucking lawyer on this planet. Any part of the justice system on this planet, we are doing more for him. And we will not give up. Who's with me? I know a lot of you are. And thank you so much for listening to me and sharing what you've got, because between us, we can come to some kind of factual sense. But if we just leave it and everybody just goes, no, give them their time to grieve, or, oh, just calm down a bit. Oh, don't, oh, it's not like that. And, you know, like if we just let these people, the crabs in the pot, pull us down when we stick our head above the parapet and say, excuse me, but this doesn't make sense. And we do, no, don't do, which is how we're bred to behave from the age of 4, let's face it. If we let the naysayers win, the bad guys win. And I don't think that they deserve that. I think I've gone through pretty much anything. If there's anything you want my opinion on, or anything you want to say at all, please leave it in the comments. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers. Unfortunately, this ain't always what I do. I do kind of like mainly pedos and Freemasons, but here we are. Do you know what I mean? Well, I say that, just general stuff, because it's my channel. Nobody to please, nobody to appease. I go where the old takes me. So if you want to stick around, like, I hope that I do it justice. Stay around for the fucking sing-song, mate, because I've just rewritten Bloody Lights Go Down in the style of Vampire Diaries. Quality content, mate, quality content. Anyway, thank you for being here. Please come back and never forget that I love you all. Bye.